Just in time for the first show of their Live 25 reunion tour in Cardiff, Wales, Oasis have announced the details of the 30th anniversary edition of their classic sophomore album, What's the Story, Morning Glory. Is it worth picking up yet another copy of the record? Let's find out. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to my quick little breakdown of the newly announced details of the 30th anniversary edition of the classic Oasis sophomore record, What's the Story, Morning Glory, which, hard to believe, is celebrating 30 years since it came out on October the 2nd, 1995. And this news is coming at a very exciting time for us Oasis fans, because the first show of the Oasis Live 25 reunion tour in Cardiff, Wales is happening as of this recording, is happening tonight. And we are all very excited for the return of Oasis, and even more excited that they're going to be giving us another version of What's the Story, Morning Glory to celebrate the 30th anniversary of this landmark classic album that made me an Oasis fan 30 years ago. So very, very excited about that. We'll talk about the details about that in just a minute. And, I guess you could say I already own a couple of different versions of What's the Story, Morning Glory. Of course I have. This is actually probably the most special CD that I have in my collection. This is my copy of What's the Story, Morning Glory that I bought back in 1996, I believe, when I was just a young lad. I bought this back in 1996, and this was the first thing Oasis that I bought ever. The North American version of the album. The CD's cracked. This thing has been scratched to death because I've played it so many times over the years. So this really was like ground zero for me as an Oasis fan. Then, of course, actually when I went to the UK a bunch of years ago, I'm like, I don't have the British version of the Oasis What's the Story, Morning Glory album with Noel Gallagher's head on the CD. See, if you look at the North American version, it just comes with a black CD, which is not the way that it was in the UK when this came out. So I had to buy myself another copy of Morning Glory that features Noel Gallagher's beautiful, the back of his head on this edition. And then, of course, I own a vinyl edition of the album. This is just a standard vinyl edition of What's the Story, Morning Glory. And then I also have this. I have the 2014 Chasing the Sun edition of What's the Story, Morning Glory. And in comparison to this new version, this 30th anniversary edition, this version is far superior, and I'll get to that in just a second. But Oasis obviously are not strangers to releasing deluxe editions of their classic albums, because last year they celebrated the 30th anniversary of their debut album, Definitely Maybe, and that's when I picked up this version, the deluxe edition that featured new artwork from Brian Cannon that has the original artwork but with the band removed from the front room there that they were sitting in. And Brian Cannon has designed similarly new artwork for this edition of What's the Story, Morning Glory. So let's go over to Oasis iNet. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let's go over to Oasis iNet and take a look here at what we got going on here. All right, so What's the Story, Morning Glory 30th anniversary edition. As you can see here, we have brand new artwork from Brian Cannon at Microdot, which is very similar to the Definitely Maybe artwork, is that it features the kind of the original spot, the original artwork, but without the people walking in the middle of the road. And if you know anything about Oasis or London and England, this is Berwick Street in London, where they shot the original cover for Morning Glory. It used to be quite the hub, quite the hot spot for lots of great record shops. When I went to the UK, I found some pretty good records, a lot of really good price records on Berwick Street. So it's known for that. It looks like there might be a couple of vinyl shops still left on there, which is good to see. But this original artwork from Brian Cannon, like, this kind of makes me want to buy it, just because I kind of love these versions of this stark artwork. Definitely Maybe or Morning Glory. I love this like stark artwork that we have on there. It's like a freshened version of it, so when you put it on a shelf, it looks cool next to the original version of the album. So this is what it says. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of Oasis's era-defining album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, Big Brother Recordings will release deluxe formats on October the 3rd. These formats will include unplugged versions of 5 classic Oasis recordings: Cast No Shadow, Morning Glory, Wonderwall, Acquiesce, and Champagne Supernova. So the deluxe album is going to feature new artwork shot by original sleeve designer Brian Cannon and new sleeve notes. Exclusive colored vinyl formats will be available, including indie record store exclusives, just like everything else these days. There's going to be multiple colored versions of the album. Crystal Clear 3 LP. HMV is going to have a Blue Marble LP. Amazon is going to have a Wonderwall inspired Sepia Marble LP. And the official store exclusive is an Acquiesce inspired Neon Orange LP. All formats will include the 2014 remastered version of the album alongside the new bonus versions. And so we did get already a recorded version of Acquiesce, a new version called the Unplugged version that was remastered and produced at Noel Gallagher's studio in London, Lone Star Sound. And I took a listen to this Acquiesce version, and it essentially is just like a new studio version of the song with all the electric guitars and the drums and everything stripped away. You're left with the Gallagher brothers vocals, which actually sound really cool because they're a little bit more stark and a little bit more naked than we were used to hearing them on that bombastic original version of Acquiesce. And it's cool. I actually really liked it. This version of Acquiesce actually reminded me a lot of Sad Song, which is the deluxe song that came on the original version of Definitely Maybe. It might just be the chords because it's got that A minor, G, F chord progression in there. But it reminded me a lot of Sad Song. And it's kind of cool to hear such a bombastic, huge rock song like Acquiesce kind of stripped back to its bare elements and revealed to be, obviously the great song that it is. But I thought that was really, really cool. And you know what? I know this doesn't necessarily give us a lot in terms of new things on this deluxe edition. I've already seen some fans online complaining that like this isn't really anything new for Oasis fans. And that is true because we got the majority of everything from the Morning Glory sessions on this 2014 Chasing the Sun edition of the album. And I'm just going to pop over to my iTunes here, which has all my Oasis collection in digital format. As you guys can see here, it's a pretty stacked list, including all the studio stuff, all the deluxe stuff. And so on this deluxe edition of Morning Glory that we got back in 2014, we got pretty much everything that we would want from those sessions. We got every B-side from that era, including Bonehead's Bank Holiday, which is the bonus track on the vinyl edition of What's the Story Morning Glory. But right from Talk Tonight to You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, the Beatles cover, we got pretty much every B-side from those sessions on this version of the album. And then when you look at some of the other bonus tracks that we got on that edition that I have highlighted here, like we have Acquiesce, which is live at Earl's Court. Some might say we got a demo of that. We got a live at Roskilde version. There's actually some versions from Roskilde on here. Roll With It, Morning Glory, Hello, all recorded at that festival back in '95. And then we got some demo versions on there as well. We got She's Electric. We got the Hey Now demo, the Bonehead's Bank Holiday demo. We got some live versions from Main Road and MTV Unplugged and Nebworth, the Brendan Lynch mix of Champagne Supernova. So really, like on this deluxe edition back in 2014, we got pretty much everything from the Morning Glory sessions. They released every song, every live version. So really for this 30th anniversary edition, it's kind of disappointing because there's not really a lot left to scrape from the bottom of the barrel for the 30th anniversary edition. They kind of used everything they had on past anniversary editions of Morning Glory, which is kind of disappointing because on Definitely Maybe, on this deluxe edition that we got last year, we got the original demos, but then we got the Sawmills and the Mono Valley sessions, which included versions of those songs that we'd never heard before. So there was some value there in the remix or the reissue of Definitely Maybe that came out last year. But I'm not really feeling that so much with this Morning Glory deluxe edition. So let's go over to here and let's take a look at what's going on here. So we have a couple of different versions of Morning Glory. We got the official store exclusive, the Acquiesce inspired Neon Orange, which is going to set you back $82 USD. Then you have the 30th anniversary like Black LP, which is $75. You have the 30th anniversary 2 CD, which is more in my price range. You got the 2 CD, and then you have the complete bundle, which is going to set you back $150. The Oasis vinyl bundle, $138, $90 for the colored vinyl and CD bundle. Not to mention all sorts of apparel and things like that. Now, this is, as an Oasis completist, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to pick up the vinyl edition. I'm going to pick up the CD edition because when it comes to Oasis, I just buy it. It's a blind buy for me. It doesn't matter if it has anything else on there that I don't already have. It's a blind buy for me. I'm already going to buy it no matter what. But I can see how this might not necessarily be a value added proposition for a lot of people who want to buy another edition of this album. Like, it's going to cost you upwards of $100 to get one of these new vinyl editions of the album. And then the CD version, I think that's a much more cost-effective one if you want to get that. But there really isn't a lot on here in terms of new music. Not to say that there would be any new music. Like I said, we got an album's worth of B-sides back when the album came out back in the mid-90s. We got pretty much everything else in terms of live tracks and demos on this version that came out in 2014. And so there really isn't a lot here. If you're a diehard Oasis fan and you own multiple versions of Morning Glory, there really isn't a lot here for you to pick up unless you're a hardcore and you just have to buy it and have it no matter what. However, if you're a new fan of Oasis, or if you're a newer fan of Oasis and you don't have Morning Glory on CD, or you don't have it on vinyl, this would be a good way to pick it up. I think so. I don't think there's as much value as this Definitely Maybe version, which had multiple versions of things that we never heard before, but I think it is worth it for you to pick up. Especially, I don't really think this edition, this 2014 Chasing the Sun edition of Morning Glory is available anymore. I don't really think it's something that you can easily get at the store. So, you know what? I think this is worth it if you don't already have a version of Morning Glory in your collection. If you're more of a casual Oasis fan and you just want to get a copy of Morning Glory, this is the newest, the freshest copy. You know, even with the version of the album, it's the 2014 remastered version. So you're essentially getting the same thing that you got on this version. But if you don't have it in your collection, I think it's definitely worthy of picking up. And if you're an Oasis diehard like me and you need to have it in your collection, be getting it and spending all that money, which is it's actually getting pretty pricey to be an Oasis fan these days, because we just had that re-release of the greatest hits album Time Flies, and that was over like $200 if you wanted to get the whole collection there. And so feels a little bit like there's not as much value for the money, but if you're a hardcore Oasis fan, definitely worth picking up. And there are a bunch of different versions on here, like I'm showing you. There's the Acquiesce inspired version. There's the black vinyl if you want to keep it simple. There's like all these different complete bundles, which are just absolutely insane in terms of price. Like, and then you add shipping onto this, especially from the Oasis iNet store. You add shipping onto this as well. It's going to get very, very pricey very, very quickly. So I would maybe suggest even trying to pick this up. For Definitely Maybe, I picked this up in store just because I couldn't deal with all the shipping costs and everything that would come associated, especially shipping it from the Oasis iNet store. So I think this is, it's going to be a pickup for me, an automatic pickup, because I'm an Oasis collector and I need to have everything no matter what, but it may not be like that for all fans. But I'm excited to see what you guys have to say in the comments below. Are you going to be picking up this deluxe edition, this 30th anniversary celebration of this classic album from Oasis? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, very, very exciting time to be an Oasis fan right now, because the band's back together. They're getting, right now, as I'm recording this video, Oasis is backstage getting ready to play the first show of their reunion tour in Cardiff. Going to be doing another video about that, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But overall, pretty cool that we're getting a 30th anniversary of Morning Glory. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to be picking it up or if this is going to be a pass for you. If you already own enough copies of Morning Glory like me, let me know if this is going to be a pass or a pickup for you in the comments below. Make sure to like this video. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate that. Make sure to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And I'll see you guys again for another video here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.